What's up guys, Crecelia back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about my first two roll impressions of the Nikon L35AF. This is the Canon L35AF. This is some expired gold 200. Let's see what happens.
Hurry up, look, the wind's blowing. I look like Pocahontas.
No, you don't. You're actually on there.
Take pictures of me.
With the film cameras?
Yeah.
Okay. Right off the bat, I really liked this camera. I liked the lens, I liked how it looked, I liked, how simple it was. In my opinion, it is one of the greatest, everyday carry, that's not maybe a super tiny point and shoot, but for what it is, it's pretty good. These things can get super expensive. I've seen them on eBay for like $250 for like a brand new in-box camera. Used, you can probably get them for probably like $120. If you can get it for under, I want to say like $70, you're doing good. Austin found it at a resale store for like $10, and it was an absolute steal. The only thing is, there's a little spot in the viewfinder. I don't know if you can see it. That's it. That's the only thing that's wrong with this camera. Everything else is perfectly fine. Autofocus works, the winder works, the rewind works, whole thing, it meters correctly, everything's good. So some things that I really don't like about this camera, the battery door kind of pops out easily, and if you drop it, the film back will actually come out. So I was out shooting and it had fell out of my pocket, and just the batteries came out, the film had come out, not the film, but the door had opened, and there's light leaks on my pictures. Now, it kind of worked out because I'll overlay some pictures here. The light leak kind of adds to the photos that I took, so I'm not real upset about it, but I wish it didn't happen in the first place. It did ruin a couple frames, more than a couple frames, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. Some things that I do like. I like the weight. If you ever hold one of these, it's not heavy, but it's not light either. Like it's got a solid weight to it. Like the body is a really light plastic, but you can tell that there's some heavy metal in here, and like you can tell it was built well. I like the viewfinder. For some reason, I've heard people a lot of complain about the viewfinder, but I think it is pretty good. It's pretty accurate in my opinion. The lens is fine. There's nothing wrong with the lens. 2.8 is perfectly fine. For an everyday point and shoot, you really don't need anything faster than a 2.8, so this thing, perfectly fine. It's really easy to load. I have some film in here right now, but all you do is you take the film and you pull it to a certain spot, and you just close it and it'll automatically wind it after you hit the shutter button. I like the grip of the camera. It's really boxy, but this part right here helps so much. Like I can just, pull it out of my pocket, boom, or the little strap, put it around my neck. this camera is almost perfect in my opinion. I think it's a great camera if you're just getting into film or you want like a everyday carry. Like this thing, pretty good. The only thing that I would say would rival it / beat it is the Olympus Stylus Epic. You know, the 2.8 version. You know, that thing will probably blow this thing out of the water because it's so small. This camera screams 80s and 90s, which I kind of love. You know, I like the red line right here. I think it looks stunning for how old it is. It's definitely a timepiece in my opinion. Another thing, because it is sort of older technology, when it winds, it is kind of loud. You cannot be discreet with this thing. Once you take a picture, as soon as you let go of that shutter button, it's gonna wind, and it is super loud. So if you're shooting street, hold it down and then let go, and then it'll start winding. That way you don't take a picture of someone and then they hear it winding and they're like, oh snap, you took a picture, you know. That's the only, like, I guess super bad thing besides the doors opening. But if you're careful, nothing bad should happen to this camera. It should last you a good while. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let y'all see some pictures. I don't remember if I got a bunch of B-roll of me shooting, so I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm Cresselia, and as always, create magic.